Hello, let me just adjust that. Today I'm going to be talking about the improvements I made to the NPCs, and I'll be showing you them. So, what improvements did I make to the NPCs? Most of these improvements are superficial. Basically, I just improved their AI a bit so they would shoot more, and I also improved their animation system. You see, currently, how it used to work is it used to work where every NPC would use the same thing for finding out what frame they should be rendering, all that, which is incredibly bad. Because if you have one NPC moving and the other isn't, that's bad. Because it could be that the moving NPC just takes the animations from the non-moving NPC, which doesn't have any animation, so it will just be gliding across the room. But that's been fixed now, and it's the same thing for gravity rotating as well. Like, when we make gravity go to the left or to the right, we have to rotate everything around so that it will face the appropriate direction. And that's fine for the player. For the player, we can just build it in. We can say, oh, if the gravity is shifting to this direction, also run that. Not so for the NPCs. And that was a bit of a difficulty, but I have found a solution to it. The problem is that solution pretty much runs on every tick for every NPC. But it's fine. It's not costing us anything, really. It's just shifting one value around. And although that's bad, because it's one value per NPC that's constantly being shifted around, it's not the end of the world. It's certainly not going to put a dent in the FPS. So, without further ado, let's just show you these improved NPCs. Let me move this as well so I can see my screen better. Is it gonna freeze? I think it's gonna freeze. For some reason, this is just a bad thing about Windows 11. Sometimes it just doesn't run the console correctly. Oh, there we go. Didn't freeze. But yeah, as you can see, they'll all fall correctly, so on and so forth. Also, there's another thing I forgot to mention as well. The bullets used to work the same way, where every NPC shared the same shooting system, so only one NPC could shoot at a given time. It wouldn't let others shoot. That's been solved now as well. So yeah, these things are now about as functional as I need them to be. Obviously, these are the non-moving NPCs, so I'm sorry if you are wondering what the moving NPCs look like. You're not going to be seeing that. But yeah. And let's win this. And now the game just basically crashes because we got no next level to go to. So it'll just crash right here and I'll not be able to move anymore. But yeah, on top of that, while I'm here, I'll also discuss what happened when I wandered on the Evercade. Because, like I said, I was going to do that. So first off, a lot of things worked incredibly well. The resolution was right. A lot of other things was right. There's only two issues. The audio system and the console system. I found out, for the audio system I'm talking about, I found out that it can only support one thread for the audio system. It can support a max of 8 threads, the Evercade can, but it can only support one dedicated thread for audio. It won't let you do any more than that. If you try, it'll just fail on you and stop you from using other threads. Which is incredible for numerous amount of reasons. It also plays the sounds really quietly as well. So I'm going to have to increase the volume on that. But yeah, it'll only let me play one thread. Also, as for what that one thread was that it only allowed me to play stuff on, it was the walking noises thread. Which, the walking noises are the quietest sounds, so maybe it won't be as bad for the rest of them, but who knows. And as for why the controller failed, for some reason, when you try and use, what's it called? Is game controller on getting all the joysticks and all that, sometimes it'll just say, oh, that's not a game controller. Because technically the Evercade is not a game controller, it's a console, but there is no is-game console. Which kinda sucks. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but they are an idiot. So I added a solution for this, as you can see somewhat here. It will first try to connect to this. If you put this in it, it will just try to run any open joystick controller that isn't a console, basically. So this will run anything that's on Evercade. Then you got this. This is what I'm using now. It will first try to find any open joystick controller. If it can't, it will go to the backup. And the backup is basically you directly indicate where to find the controller mappings and inputs and all that. You directly indicate where the hell that is. And you just have to pass in a number to do it. It will automatically handle the rest of the shenanigans for you. And this should fix the issue, but I haven't had time to test it. Once I test it though, and I'll probably test it next week on Friday, then we'll see. And if it does fix the issue, hooray! If it doesn't, then that's going to be painful. As for audio, I honestly don't know how I'm going to fix that. Because it requires mixing audio sounds. If we're going to have to play it all in one thread, we have to mix everything into one sound. That's a lot of hassle, and it's not something I know how to do either. But we are getting a lecture on it at some point, so I'll wait till then to sort out the audio problems. But I think it went alright. It's only 2 issues, and one of them's already been fixed. The other is going to be fixed soon. So it's not the end of the world. Everything else worked fine. Well, everything else apart from the NPCs, but I've just fixed them. And that wasn't because of the Evercade, so yeah. I just ran into that. I'll just close. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. I was going to test the walking NPCs this week, but I didn't get much time to do so. I had problems with one of my other assignments and it took up a lot of my time. So I'll test that next week as well, when I'm doing other levels. Well, when I'm doing the particles, I'll sneakily sneak that in somewhere. But yeah, it's just a couple of testing and then probably adjusting of some stuff. It's nothing major. It's not like we're desperately in need of it. We got half the NPCs and we know they fully work. And the walking NPCs do technically work. I'm not sure how well they work with the things that indicate where obstacles are and how to navigate around them. But once that's all tested, then we're all good. And yeah, I'm very proud of the progress I made. I think that we'll be completing this game soon. And yeah, there's nothing else to say. Goodbye.